Today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's a secret though. You got to keep it a secret. Can't anybody know about it. It's super secret. But we have a web page, a Facebook page, and we have gatherings. So I guess it's not really all that secret, but you're not supposed to talk about it. But today we're going to talk about it. We're going to be talking about today the Dead Fish Order, or as we call it, the DFO. We just find it funny because it's the same acronym for the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, and we have shirts that have big letters DFO on the back, and we look really official when we wear them. But we're just fish nerds, just like you guys. But I've been asked a lot about what is the Dead Fish Order, what is the DFO, and essentially, a lot of you out there may be members of an organized aquarium society. The Dead Fish Order is not much different than that. But it does have some things that are very, very uniquely different than an average aquarium society. An aquarium society, you'd have monthly meetings. Sometimes, depending on the strength of your club, you'd be bringing in monthly speakers and educational speakers on all facets, or sometimes maybe your organization is specialized in like cichlids or killies or whatever, and then topics would be streamlined to those things. But you'd probably, in your monthly meetings, you'd probably have auctions. You'd have raffles, you'd have different things. You'd have award programs, horticultural award programs, BAP award programs, bull shows and fish shows and stuff like that, and different things like that. The one thing that we've noticed, me and my good friend, who I'll talk about in a minute, is that over the years, the focus of these organizations has been more dollar-driven and very, very much less driven based on education, which is a massive priority to me. And even more importantly, the social aspect. Without having that social aspect, it's kind of no point. I know a lot of you guys out there may be hardcore fish people, and your hobby's personal, and your hobby's in your basement or in your house and stuff like that, and you don't need anything else. You got YouTube, you've got the internet and stuff like that. You can mail order your fish, or you can go to your stores that you like to support and whatnot, and that's all good. But some of us need to get more and more and more. And then we start joining these organizations, and there's usually within a couple hours, there's probably an aquarium society or some form, shape, or form around you, no matter where you are in the world. Hopefully. If not, maybe we'll try and find you one. But the Dead Fish Order was a little bit different. We set out with a very, very different set of ideals of what we wanted to accomplish. And the main thing, first and foremost, was the social aspect, because we found that was a thing that was completely lacking. We would find in our aquarium societies that people would show up completely not caring about who the speaker was, or the fact that they flew all the way from Texas or England or wherever to come and give us a talk on something that we thought was really, really cool, and we'd hope you think we're really cool. And they'd walk in halfway through it making a bunch of noise, carrying their coolers, and all they cared about was cheap fish in the auction. And that really irritated me, and it really irritated my friend, and we just thought there's got to be a better way. There's got to be something we can do. Now, auctions are integral for financial aspects to support a lot of these different organizations, so you can't really get away from not doing that. It also is a good method for all the members to disperse the offspring and the extra plants and whatnot amongst other members and stuff, thereby keeping our hobby thriving and growing and keeping the stuff turning around. So that's really, really important. We just had to find a different way of doing everything that we wanted to do. And that's where we basically, it was the brainchild of two people. It was myself and my good friend Spencer Jack. We don't have monthly meetings. We don't want to have that monkey on our back that we've got to just churn out meetings for the sake of churning out meetings. So our meetings are basically 100% scheduled around his and mine's traveling schedule, because I travel for my job as well as for all these talks and whatnot I'm doing all over the place. And he does a few talks still, not as many as he used to. And the other factor is he's also a season ticket holder for the Winnipeg Jets. So basically, when we want to book a speaker, we do about 4 or 5 a year. When we do them, they're big events. And we basically kind of send out some feelers to who we're kind of looking at grooming for the next series of events that we want to have. We call them gatherings of the brethren of the Dead Fish Order. And we kind of put the feelers out and we say, okay, we'll pick a Saturday anywhere in this month or this month, except for this one because there's a Jets game or Biggs is away or something like that. And that's honestly how all of them have been booked. And We only bring in world-class, world-renowned speakers, and generally we only bring in people that either him or I have personally spent time with, seen speak, enjoyed hanging out with at a convention, had a drink with, somebody. These are all people that we just enjoy hanging out with, being with. You can see in the wall behind me, these are all the posters, and everybody asked me about these. These are all the posters that one of our members, he's a graphic artist by trade, and he designs all these posters for every speaker that comes in. But being at a forced socialized organization, what we do is we basically always have it either catered. In the summertime, we usually hold them at our Chamberlain or treasurer's place, and he has a large property out of the city in the country, and we do a big spread, big barbecue spread or something like that. We've done a whole pork. When Felipe was here, he did an entire pig and an entire lamb, and I think we had 150 people at that meeting. People flew in from all across Canada to come to that meeting, and Felipe cooked for everybody. We weren't allowed to cook, he cooked. So we had fun. We still do have auctions. We still do have a raffle and stuff like that. They're always held on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever works best for us and works best for the speaker. They always start in the middle of the afternoon and they go to late evening, depending on what people want. Speakers generally do 2 talks because sometimes we're bringing them from all over the world, like Germany and UK and whatnot, Uruguay. But we have a lot of blast doing it. And by being social, we want to have that time where you guys can come. You buy a ticket. That's the one thing I didn't mention. We don't have a club. We don't have a membership. There's no membership fees. There's none of that standard stuff that everybody has. We basically just hold gatherings. And most of our gatherings, with the exception of the summer ones, are limited to 50 seats. So if you want to see Ad Konings, or we bring in Ingo Seidel from Germany, or some of those guys, when we bring in the big guns and stuff like that, they're not in those 1 or 2 in the summertime when we do the outdoor ones. They're held in a much smaller venue, and we like that because it's nice and intimate, it's quiet. It's like going to see your favorite rock band you always wanted to see, but on a little stage at a club. How cool would that be? And there's lots of times for that socialization. The whole reason we're in this hobby, sitting down in a chair and just having a drink and having some meal and just enjoying the company of others with common interest and sharing our stories and stuff. It's really what brought us all into it, right? Our logo, which is the thing that often gets the most attention, this logo is designed by a good friend of ours, Mr. Nick LaFerrier. One other aspect that we do differently is we don't want to be profitable. So we established the Malawi Goat Fund. Over in Malawi, they're harvesting all the fish, and they're getting smaller and smaller because they're using mosquito nets to take everything out of the lake. So we thought, we don't need the extra money to run a fish club. Let's divert it. Let's give it to them. Maybe if we give them a goat, they won't eat all our fish. There's a couple of more DFO posters from the lovely lady Rachel O'Leary and Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings actually is local to us, and that's where it all started, his talks on Madagascar. They all started because Spencer and I kept badgering him. Hey, Jim, can you do a talk on Madagascar? And he put together an amazing talk on Madagascar, and he's taking it all over the world, and he's being loved by many. We always knew he was great. We've had him. It's our little secret we had back here. But Jim's been doing it longer than both me and Spencer combined, so props to him. But that picture up there, that's another piece by Nick LaFerrier. And that's one's called Mexican Standoff, of the two big species, the gold labradens from the Media Luna and the Bartonii, 2 species that live sympatrically, or did live sympatrically in the Media Luna before the thing was almost completely wiped out. But both species are still alive in the wild. They're both critically threatened, but they're both still there. But it's nice to know that both these species are alive and well in the aquarium hobby, and there's lots of hobbyists that really love those 2 beautiful species, so that's really, really cool. That's basically the dead fish order in a nutshell. That's it for today, guys. See you soon. Take care.